Hi everyone, I'm Russell,
Amy.
and welcome back to Coffee, Chaos, and Chromosomes.
Whoop, whoop.
We're gonna start today's episode with a little bit of Q&A. We had a post put out for questions. We shared that out and got some responses. So we're gonna talk about the responses that we received, or the questions that we received, and then we're just gonna respond to them one by one. So Amy's gonna kind of read the questions. She has screenshots of the questions, and then we'll kind of just go from there.
Yeah, and this is just a way for us to explain just our experiences with these questions. Y'all's experience may be a little different, but again, any info from anyone is, helpful in some way. And this is just a cool way for us to interact with the audience until we start doing lives. So, yeah. Question number 1 from Ashley says, why are you choosing to keep your daughters home instead of sending them to school? Do you want to answer that one, sir?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just as a dad and as a protective dad, it makes me absolutely beyond nervous to even think about it. Only because we have Amy's sister works in the classroom for those type of classrooms, for special education classrooms, and she's in a smaller town. But man, just some of the stories that she's told us. I also have the best friend that I grew up with. He has a son who's been in the classes, and actually here in Fate, but also in another town. And he just had a ton of issues and a ton of different scenarios that popped up where he didn't really find out until it was too late.
After.
And that makes me even more nervous about the whole situation. Yeah. The fact that we may not even know what's happening. And
yeah, that's the worst part, because our kids are nonverbal. So it's not like, an average child who goes to school and they get bullied or they get picked on or they get in trouble. They're able to go home to their parents and communicate that, and our kids can't. So then it would be basically the school's word, and it's nerve-wracking, because I've seen some stories even in social media, in the news, that just make me worry to send our kids who can't fend for themselves, be on their own. And some districts don't allow their home health nurses to go with them to school because they have nurses on the premises. And I wouldn't be okay with that either, because my nurses know my kids inside and out. They know their likes, dislikes. Did I turn it off?
No, just...
Oh, they know their likes, dislikes. They know their schedules. And there's 2 of them. And would they be separated? And it's just a lot of nerve-wracking worrying going on in my head, to where I would just rather them not. I am interested potentially in looking into the, where the teacher comes to my house and helps teach them things, and then they'll also get additional OT and PT and speech. So that may be an option, but I mean, it'd be different if they were actually learning something and, being able to comprehend to an extent what's being taught to them, versus them just sitting in a room and the school getting paid for 2 additional butts in the seats. I'm just not okay with that.
Yeah, and my worry too with that is we heard from other people that help us with the girls with therapy and stuff, that there have been situations with other kids that they, go to help, where the parent was getting harassed by the school district for missing school, or now it turns into like you're on their books, and if you're not showing up, then the mom was having to go to court for truancy for her kid that was sick or different things. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not the same situation. It's like we've had truancy, threatened on us from our kid who's 12. It's like, okay, she was sick and she missed school and I didn't get a doctor's note. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, she's in 5th grade, at this time, 4th, 5th grade. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So I definitely could not imagine doing that same thing with my twins who are disabled. I got enough stuff going on. I don't need to be playing with your court system. I don't need to be playing with your school system. I don't need to be playing with any of it.
Yeah, I'm from California and the schools are not that strict. Unless things have changed. I've been here like 16, 17 years. They're not that strict. They will not threaten to take you to court and you'll have to pay fines and go to jail and all the craziness that it is here
I couldn't imagine.
with the truancy.
Yeah, I am. I do a really good job of holding on to my frustrations in situations, but in that situation, I don't know if I'd be able to hold on to. I don't know if I'd be able to look another man in his eye who's trying to take me to court over this stuff and not want to just turn into someone else, someone I don't like to be. And so that makes me nervous. All of that makes me nervous. And at the end of the day, like, I'm just trying to protect my kids. And then they're not gonna go to school and do what you expect them to do anyways. I feel like you're gonna put them in a curriculum or in a box where they're supposed to be, and they're not gonna fit in that box. So why am I gonna play this game with you? I don't want to play it.
Well said, sir. Well said. All right. Next question from Heather. How are you going to deal with the girls' female issues as they get older? Oh. This is one I really struggle with because, they're not potty trained. So they're still in diapers, and then that'll continue. I mean, I think we will try to potty train them, but again, no one can tell us really their mental capacity to even know if they would even comprehend, oh, I feel like I have to go to the bathroom. Let's go sit on the toilet. I don't want to, count them out on that. But who's to say when that'll actually happen? And so could you imagine like adding a menstrual cycle in with that and hormones and it stresses me out. It really stresses me out.
Yeah. I've asked about it, and I mean, we've asked, other people that we've known, that we've met through these groups and stuff, how they've handled it, and I've heard mixed. I've heard some people that just, deal with it, and it is what it is, and then I've heard others that have, may not have done it, but looked into like hormone therapy stuff,
like almost sterilizing them, like making it to where they don't go through that part of their life, like make sure they don't have menstrual cycles.
And I don't know how that works, but that makes me nervous too. Like, is it worth it? Like, do we not just let it go and see how to play it out? It's definitely.
I mean, they fight you now on getting their diaper changed sometimes, and they're very, very strong. So I can't imagine a nurse trying to change a urine or stool diaper with a menstrual cycle all involved with that, with a child that is mentally not really sure what is happening and trying to get their diaper changed, and they're big, they're tall girls, and they're only going to get taller and they're only going to get stronger. So I really don't know what I will do with that one. I think we'll have to, they're only 8, so I'm hoping that doesn't come too early. But I think I'm leaning more towards the sterilization, and actually, I think that is my goal. I don't know what Russell's goal is on that.
I really don't have a goal on that.
It just worries me that, once we're not here, what's to come with that afterwards.
Yeah, I think there will be definitely some research on both of our parts to look into it more before we just go pulling that trigger for sure. But it's on the table. It's an option. I'm nervous about that in itself, but I guess we'll see.
Next question. This is from Aspen. Mama of a 5-week-old CDC baby. Welcome to the CDC club.
Yeah, welcome.
What was your experience like traveling with the twins when they were younger? Any traveling tips? Or any funny any funny stories to share? So we did take the girls on a cruise 3 years ago. couple years ago, we did take nurses with us. We took 2 nurses who were 2 day nurses of ours. So they actually were able to get paid while they were with us, and they worked 16-hour days. And then we also had the girls with us as well. But that was a huge lifesaver because we also have a middle child. So we were able to do stuff with the twins and our middle child, Kinsley, without feeling like we were being
We had Kirsten
pulled.
with us.
Oh, and our oldest daughter, sorry.
Yeah.
So we were able to do things with all of them to where we weren't being pulled in one direction or the other, or feeling guilty that we were primarily spending time with the twins and not the other kids. So that was huge. We did contact the cruise line before we went to make sure we had a refrigerator in our room, a case of water so we could make their feed because they do get fed through a G-tube. We took like over-the-door caddies and just put all of their stuff in it. And it was so nice. Everything was organized. We took little cots, so they slept in the cots between the bed and the walls so they couldn't run away. As far as the shower, we took a little blow-up like infant toddler tub. And so that was able to sit at the base of the shower on the cruise ship. And so they were able to actually take a bath, which was nice because that you don't want to sit them on that floor of the shower. We took umbrella strollers, so it wasn't heavy duty strollers, but we took a lot of stuff. I mean,
we did take a lot of
they
stuff.
get multiple pouches of feed, every feed. And so we took boxes and boxes of feed. And at that point, it was, and there's 2 of them, so that was double of everything. Multiple clothing, diapers, wipes, syringes, medications. I mean, the list just went on and on and on. But just organize. Make sure you're organized and make sure you call ahead of time, whether it's a cruise ship or a hotel or a resort. Just make sure you have the things that you need to make your trip a little easier.
Yeah, and it definitely was, still an adventure.
Yes, it was an adventure. I want to take them on more vacations, but I just don't know if I mentally, it just exhausts me to put them in the car. They're just heavy and they're tall and, I was just talking to my mom and I want to take all of the kids on a vacation next year, hopefully, to a resort and just make an adventure out of it and not take nurses with us. So it's just a family trip. But my kids test my patience. But, I mean, you don't want to exclude any kids. And, I think the biggest tips is call ahead of time. Make sure you have everything that you need. And pack accordingly. And pack things that you can hang, that you can store all of your stuff in. It was so nice to have all of that, to where it was just an arm's reach. And we almost overpacked, but it was good to overpack than underpack. And I even bought a little miniature, washer machine. It's plugged in and it had a little spin cycle on it and it was collapsible so we could wash their button buddies and their belly bands and little things, because you can't do laundry you can do laundry on the cruise ship, but it's not cheap. So.
Yeah. And with that, it's nerve-wracking because you think about just buttons and buttons bust. So we had to bring backups
Extras.
of everything that we could think of that could possibly go wrong. And even then, it's still nerve-wracking.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, it's still the feeling of, did we pack everything? Did we bring enough? Is something going to go wrong? It was definitely nerve-wracking. But at the end of the day, I am a firm believer in, if there's a will, there's a way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you have the will to do it, then there's a way to make it happen. It's just,
yes,
it's definitely more than what you're probably used to with a normal child.
It was a lot.
It's easier when they're little, though. When they're 5 months or something, they're pretty little.
Well, 5 weeks is this?
No, I'm just
kiddo.
saying, that's
but
even
yeah,
smaller.
ours were what, 5?
But at
4?
that time, there was no way we were leaving and
No.
going to do something like that, just because of all the health issues we were dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, when they were smaller, it was definitely easier to put them in a car seat, get them where we needed to go. It wasn't really much different
Not
than
really. I mean, they were on
okay,
oxygen.
okay,
So
okay.
when
Definitely
they
more
were
stuff
little,
though.
now I would take them on vacation any day over having to take them to the hospital when they were very little. It was two car seats, the double stroller, oxygen tanks, pulse socks, feeding bags. Like it was a double diaper bag because I had to have extras of extras. I mean, just lugging the oxygen tanks alone was exhausting. I mean, it
We
took me
had
45 minutes to load the car, and then I was like, okay, I don't want to go anywhere now.
yeah, we had travel bags for the smaller oxygen, but then you were worried if those were going to run out of oxygen, so then you
Mm-hmm.
carried the big ones with you as backups. And I remember one time we just went to a little event in the town next to us, and we didn't have the big ones with us. We were like, "Oh, we'll be fine," and the little ones started to run out on the way home. We're all freaking out. We're all trying to just let's calm down. We can't do anything about it. Let's make it home. We had the pulse socks. We had everything with us, but still nerve wracking because you're running out of oxygen. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not your breathing, it's their breathing. And I
Yeah.
can't do anything to make them breathe without it. But we made it home. And yeah.
Any
that's
funny
enough.
stories to share?
I mean, funny stories? I don't really have any funny stories about it necessarily.
I think it's just any funny stories in general about the girls.
I mean, there's a lot of funny things that they do. There's a lot of, for me, I mean, they're characters in themselves for sure. Uh, Cambry, when I hold her, she now like I hug her, and she if I'm holding her, she's hugging me and then like kind of backing off, looking at me, hugging me again, and she's almost making like the little squealing happy sounds of just like "Ooh," she's squeezing me, and I mean they're adorable. I mean
They are
they
cute.
definitely
We'll
love
bring
us.
them in the next episode or so.
Yeah, they love us to death, and it's mutual, and I know that they know that. Cambry for sure knows when I'm holding her that I love her, and she's it's been claimed, and everybody will hear it. I'm sure.
He's going to say it out loud.
Cambry is my favorite.
Oh.
Okay, but that's.
Did you hear that, Kennedy? Kennedy, did you hear that?
That's between us and these walls and the internet now. I think the bond came a lot from her because I was in the hospital with her more than Kennedy. She was in a lot.
Don't be lying. They were both in the hospital.
Cambry was a lot more in the hospital with me, and I got to see.
Cambry did struggle more.
I got to see her
with certain
struggle more,
things.
which I think hurt me more, which made me want to get close to her more. Kennedy is a little more on the I'm happy to be by myself. Cambry is not. I walk into the room, Kennedy could care less. Kennedy will side eye me and kind of
And
go
just go
back
about
to
her
go back
business.
to whatever she's doing. Cambry will scoot over to me. So
And I'm the opposite. Cambry will not come near me. She's her dad's little girl. Kennedy loves me. She'll come up and hug me and love on me. She's my little cuddle bug. So it is kind of funny that we have the total opposite twin.
it's the next one.
Thanks for your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Next one is Clarissa. Stimming. My 3-year-old has a lot of stimming habits. She bites her arms, bangs her head, hits herself on the chin or throat. What is your experience with any stimming, and what works for y'all?
I mean, works
They both
for us.
stim
Yeah, they
a
both
lot.
stim for sure.
A lot of it is the rocking,
Mm-hmm.
the hand flapping with the legs and the feet.
Yes.
They do a lot of the head banging, so we just make sure, not necessarily against things, but we just make sure that anything that they're sitting in, if they're near a wall, that there's something soft behind them. For a long time, I wanted to get them helmets.
Mm-hmm. We thought about it.
Yeah, even just the soft helmets we
Which
thought
they
about.
sell on Amazon. We
Mhm.
looked at them for our grandson who loves to just run and trip and fall into the corner of every wall he can
Yes.
find.
On purpose, I feel like.
It feels like it. But the girls, in their room, if we were to go in their room, they have a couch on a wall, but behind that, on the whole wall, down the whole wall, is a tumbling mat that inflates, and it's literally against the wall behind them. So if they're stimming and they're bouncing back, they're hitting that tumbling mat. They're not hitting a dry wall that could have a stud behind it. They're not hitting their head.
Yeah, but they're very flexible. Like
they'll
sit on the floor and
it looks like they're about to hit their
completely
head.
bend in half, and it looks like they're about to bash their heads into the floor. And they stress me out with that because they get really, really close.
They don't
really
do it.
close. They don't do it, but they get really close. A huge thing for Kambri is she sucks on her hands a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Both hands go in the mouth. She flings her spit, and it's just gross. But I mean, that is like, if you look up the verbiage on stimming, it's ways for them to calm their anxiety.
Yeah, it's like self-soothing.
Yeah, self-soothing. And so if that's how she self-soothes, you go for it, girlfriend.
Yeah, the biggest thing is just try to make the environment as safe as you can for when they're
calm,
doing that.
Relaxing.
I'm just saying, like, safe-wise in the sense of like we did with the wall. If we know they're going to bounce their head back, try to put something there. If you can get maybe, say if they are leaning far enough forward to bang their head on the ground, or they are doing something that could hurt themselves, think about the helmet, or maybe even like a gymnastics pad on the floor, that if they do hit themselves on that ground, that they're hitting something that's going to catch them, not something that's going to stop their brain and bang, that's my biggest worry. The hands and the feet, like our girls will kick the ground, and it sounds like that they've had to have. I did body hardening in the Marine Corps. We used to slam our arms to each other's and kick our shins to each other to literally fracture your legs and make them stronger, whatever. But the girls, they kick their shins on the heel of their foot on the ground so much, I guarantee they harden those bones, fracture those bones.
I mean, they have to have heels of steel.
Yes, they can.
It's so loud it echoes through the house.
They get in the bathtub sometimes, and if there's not enough water in there, they're kicking the bathtub, and we're like, "What is that sound? Why is that happening?" But even when we're giving them a bath, like I try to put a ton of water in there, just they splash and it's going to get everywhere. But at the end of the day, like that makes me cringe just to hear that heel hit the ground as hard as it does.
I do notice though that Kambri she stims more when she's bored.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's really good on the iPad and she likes to scroll. So if she's bored and not, intermingling with anything or something, then she tends to lick and suck on her hands quite more. So if she has the iPad, she doesn't do it as often. If the lights are dimmer, if it's just a warm, relaxing environment, she doesn't do it as much. But if the bright lights are on, every TV, because they have a playroom, a bedroom, and then a room that they feed in. And so if every TV is on and all the lights are on, I feel like she does it a lot more. It's kind of like she's just overstimulated. I feel like she does it.
We have a chew toy kind of thing that she uses now that vibrates.
They do like the vibration.
They do like that. That helps kind of soothe her, I think, in the sense of her normally putting her hands in her mouth. She has another little one that she will bite on. I mean, the stimming goes... I mean, my friend's son, he has a trampoline in the house. I mean, he would just bounce on that trampoline. He had a little hanging like hammock that he would climb into, and he would get in there and rock. And so I think there's just finding whatever works for your kid, what suits them.
We used to have swings hanging in our old house, and I keep telling Russell he's got to re-hang them because they do like that. They like that swinging motion. Kennedy loves to just lay back, like throw herself backwards. She likes to hang upside down. So there's just different things. You just kind of have to find your niche on what makes your kids comfortable. I mean, as far as the hitting, I don't know. Our girls don't really do that.
And the biting, though, like maybe
they do bite.
They will bite you. The biggest thing, though, I'm thinking, like, if your kid is biting itself, maybe like a padded, like an arm pad or something. That way, at least if they're biting, that they're biting a pad, something that's...
Yeah, we do have no-nos, which Like
Yeah.
the girls used to use those when they were in the hospital when they had their IVs so they wouldn't bend their arm. And so we have quite a few of those. And so some of our nurses were putting those on the girls or for sure Cambry when she was sucking on her hands. And I just was anti that. I said, just don't do that anymore, because if that's her way of soothing herself, I don't want to block her from soothing herself. But even something like that could be an option to wear on the forearm, like where they're biting, to where then if they do bite it, it is a softer material, so they're not biting into their skin.
Yeah, I think it's hard to think about stopping them from doing it. And that one, of course, if they are hurting themselves, you got to figure out something to kind of help avoid them from hurting themselves. You're like protecting them from themselves. And again, we don't really have that scenario in general, so we don't really have an answer in particular that we've used. But that's what I would suggest. I would suggest trying to find something that's soft that you can put there that if they do bite, if she does bite herself, then at least you have a way to protect her arm.
Yeah, because there is something that I can try to find it. I sent out to my nurses because I didn't want them to stop them from stimming in a way, because it is just a way that almost like it's their way of communicating. It's, they may be frustrated because they are nonverbal, and so they can't communicate the way most people do communicate.
Yeah.
So you don't want to stop
Kambry
them
used
from
to
doing
do a
that.
lot of like tapping on her neck or just different little.
She does a lot of this.
Yeah, little hand motions on her face, and then lately, and I think it's been a year or so, maybe more, but she covers her ears, and I've tried to buy her ear muffs to put on her ears, thinking maybe that would help soothe her and that would stop her from wanting to do it, but she didn't really like the ear muff. Anything that I've bought her to put on her head, she didn't really like them. She didn't keep them on. The sunglasses, for the longest time when we go outside, they wouldn't keep them on. Now they will. Now they go outside and they'll put the sunglasses on and they won't touch them. So I think it's just trying to try different things. And of course, there's plenty of cheap options out there to try. We did that a lot throughout the girls' lives and trying different things. So I think try to look for some cheap options, maybe a, little football pad that the little boys wear with have the padding in it, or volleyball, or whatever other sport you could think of.
Or, find things to just maybe keep their hands busy so they're not. But I do know that when our girls get overexcited, then they do stim quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
This is going to drive me crazy because now I can't find it.
Just go back to the questions. All right? No reason to try to find that. You're scrolling through 20,000 photos or something.
Shh. Whatever. Okay. Next question. This is from Laura. She actually has 2 questions. How do you find time for each other outside of raising your kids?
Yeah.
Especially if you have special needs children. I'd love to hear how you or other couples make time for your marriage without feeling guilty or anxious. Well, the answer to that is we don't.
Yeah, that's it. I think many, and don't get me wrong, we've had the same feeling and same question at times, and we've talked to other parents, and I think, don't get me wrong, we all feel that it's an important part of your life, and we all we together have talked about it and have tried different things. We've gone out a couple of times, but as as the person said, Laura was saying, like, you feel guilty. I mean, there's been many a times where we've been out with our friends and both of us are just like, man, we just want to pick up the phone and FaceTime our girls and just see what's happening. At the end of the day, like, it's hard to step away. It's hard to pull your mind away from everything that's happening. I mean, even going to work sometimes, and I work in the house. I mean, the girls are here. I got therapy coming in. I got different things that I'd love to be a part of. I got to pay bills and I got to take care of things. And there's been plenty of times when I started this role that I'm in now to get to where I am today, I felt like I had to put in a lot of time only for learning and trying to move up in the company and do what I felt like I needed to do to be in a position to provide better, provide more for our children and our family. I put in a lot of work, a lot of time in this office working and gave up time with my kids and gave up time with my family, gave up time with my wife, and it's a struggle. It's absolutely a struggle. It's absolutely somebody or something that all of us, in this community have to worry about or think about at times. And for me in general, like me thinking about my wife, like I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going no matter what happens, no matter what's happening.
Because he's smart.
No
he knows
matter, I mean, like she'll joke and say like, "Oh, girls will hit on you at the gas station, or ladies
while
will
I'm
hit
in
on."
the car.
I'm like, you have nothing to worry about. I'm not going anywhere. I have no thought. There's not one single minuscule thought
It
in my
doesn't
mind about
matter.
going anywhere else or thinking about anything like that. It doesn't make any logical sense. I have too much stuff going on. I have too much stuff, too many people that rely on me. And 24 hours a day, I'm thinking about it. I go to sleep thinking about it. I wake up I wake up thinking about it. I can't even imagine the thought process behind that. And that gets in the way at times
Yeah.
of just us
It is
being
hard because we
together.
don't, like they always say, don't stop dating your spouse. That stopped a long time ago just because we've been so focused on, you know, with Kinsley, I was in the NICU for 88 days. I mean, I wasn't in the NICU. I was in the hospital for 88 days. And so that was in itself a just awful time. And then losing Dylan and then trying to focus on Kinsley alone. And then once the twins came, our focus slowly went away from Kinsley and went more towards the twins. So then we just gave Kinsley anything and everything she asked for. So then she was occupied, and then we focused on the twins. And then it was never really a focus on us. I mean, I don't even know when the last time we went out on a date.
Yeah.
I mean, we did go on a cruise last year.
Which was...
Thanks to my parents.
Yes.
Which was needed. But it's so hard because I was so focused on, are the girls okay? Did my nurses come to work on time? Did anyone call out? Is everything okay at the house? Did they get their shipment? Did they get their meds? Are they healthy? Are they sick? And it was just, I almost was so stressed and anxious about being away that I didn't even enjoy the time we were away. So that kind of sucks.
We didn't talk about it too much even when we got back, only because I felt like everybody was expecting us to have this great, fantastic time away. And in all honesty, I think both of us were looking forward to getting back to the room. Even if we went to go do something with somebody and we had a couple good nights out or time out, but it's just like the same time we were both looking forward to get back to the room just to talk to home and see how the girls are doing, see how everything was going. So it's stressful. It's one of those things where, like, I love her and I'm not going anywhere, and
but you do need time for you, even if it's just after the kids go to bed. Like, do popcorn in a movie, or walk to the park or Netflix something. It doesn't have to be something extravagant or a vacation per se. I mean, just being together, not you in one room and me in the other. But I mean, we do that anyways. We do. We sit in the same room. We do. Yeah, we'll sit in the same room, and I'll watch TV, and he'll watch his phone. But we're in the same room. We're still together.
Yeah, I just can't stand watching.
Don't even start bashing my shows, okay? I'm a huge reality.
And I'm not.
Reality show girl. I thrive off it.
It's drama.
I love drama as long as it's not my drama. No. I'm all for it. Give it to me.
No, thank you. I don't want anything to do with it.
And then I talk about all the people on the drama shows like they're my best of friends.
Yeah.
So it's hard. You just got to do what works best for you. Like I said, even if it's just after the kids go to bed, watching a movie together or cooking together or something. It doesn't have to be extravagant. So, Laura's second question is, my son is nonverbal and we've tried using an AAC device, but he has very little interest in it. I think part of the problem is that he is so used to using his tablets to watch videos, he doesn't understand why this device is different or why we should use it to communicate. Do you have any tips or strategies to motivate? Well, we have this problem home as well. We have a speech device. Kennedy is not all for it, but she is more amped to using it. Kambri could care less. Kambri doesn't want to look at it. When speech comes and they bring her the tablet to use, she turns away.
Push it away.
She'll try to push the buttons without even looking at it because she knows that her iPad has videos and she can scroll and do whatever she wants on it, and there's fun stuff on it, and the speech tablet is work. She does not like it. Kennedy will use it. But we've even downloaded like their personal things, like pictures of family members, pictures of our nurses, pictures of their stuff, like their iPad and their toys, their TV, stuff that they play with is on the tablet. She don't want nothing to do with it. We do, though, have the talk buttons, which I think that was in the video we didn't record. We talked about the talk buttons. So on Amazon, you can buy these talk buttons, which I'll have Russell post. You'll see a lot of videos on TikTok or Facebook where they use them for dogs, and they'll communicate. The dog will communicate through the talk buttons. We use those with the girls. And so we have one that says open gate, so the gate from their room, and they love to push that one. One that says tablet, TV, help, more, stop, go, water play. We have a lot of buttons throughout the house that we try to get them to use to communicate with us. So you can maybe try that. There are different colors. You can put stickers on them so they know what the button is for. We've always just been told by therapy that if the child uses the button, then fulfill it. So if the child pushes the button,
reward.
Right, a cause and effect. If the child pushes the button that says open gate, you best open that gate for that baby. If not, they're not going to want to do it because there's not going to be a reward at the end. There's not going to be a cause and effect of the button. So we have pictures of all of us, family, and each one has a button next to it. Mom, dad, Kinsley, Kirsten, Mima, Peepaw, all of the buttons. And so they also say with those, if they push our button, then we need to use those while we're home. So then we can pop in and say, hey, mommy's here, because they've pushed the mommy button or they've pushed the daddy button. Cambri's really good about her nurses are really good about pushing her. So they make her kind of, skim the walls and get to where she needs to go to push that tablet button before she gets the tablet. They make her work for it. So you should try the talk tablet or the talk buttons. I think those work better than the speech tablet, to be honest.
They're cheap too.
They are cheap. And the talk tablets you have to get through insurance, and some cover, some don't. You have to go through this whole trial period. But there's a lot you can do with the talk tablets. It just depends on how much they're willing to learn. Like you said, your son wants to watch videos and he doesn't want to associate with the talk tablet because it's not fun. And Kambri does the same thing. They did sign language for a little bit when they were smaller, but trying to get everyone that comes in and out of this house to use sign language is just almost impossible.
Yeah.
But
it's all work.
It is work, and it's repetitiveness. You have to be consistent. Or out of sight, out of mind. They're not going to use it if you're not consistent with it through everyday, day-to-day activities. If they want to, if it's time to brush their teeth, you better get that button. Time to brush your teeth, or time to eat breakfast.
Do your hair. Do something.
Yeah, it's bath time, bedtime. Everything needs to be in a routine almost.
Yeah.
So.
And consistent.
Yeah, consistency. Yeah, that's a good question. Let's see, there was another question. Hold, please. I was trying to screenshot everything so I wouldn't miss it.
Yeah. And while she's looking, for me and Cambry and Kennedy, and the way that they don't really use the app itself, I have the ability to build the app. I actually started at one point building the app to make it a little more, hopefully, interactive or interesting to them, and I need to continue doing that. I feel like if I have control of making the changes that I want to make and gear it towards them more, then I think it's going to be more effective. So that's something that I need to set aside some time in all my spare time and finish that up and get that onto an iPad or tablet that we have so that they can try it. And in all reality, my goal with that early on was to be able to offer it out cheaper and not have to have insurance involved, to be able to give a cheaper option to parents who don't have the ability to go through insurance and get it, and still have something that, I can customize or I can make customizable for different kids.
Yeah.
So I definitely need to do that, get it out, and be able to help more people in that way as well. Laura can try it for us.
So we're not experiencing this exactly, but Barbara said, how do you get through your own cancer diagnosis and treatment while caring for a CDC child? Currently living through it and figuring it out. Maybe that's an episode in itself.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's a tough one.
It's hard. And that C word hits home here.
Yeah.
Just so you know, we hope that everything works out for you, and I hope that you pull through everything and you're there for your kids. We just personally lost two family members, really close family friends in the past month and a half, both from cancer, husband and wife. And I lost both my grandfathers early on in my life. One of them early at 18, and then one shortly after Kinsley was born. So both from cancer. So it's a tough one, and our hearts and our prayers will go out to you for sure, and hope that you can get better and get through that. I mean, it's hard enough.
We'll say a prayer for sure.
Yeah, it's hard enough without any diagnosis or going through anything of your own. Having to worry about taking care of yourself.
Because then you have to put your own issues and sicknesses and concerns and stressors and all of that on the back burner, because you do have to care for a child no matter their age, because they are dependent on you.
Yeah, it's a rough one.
So I did find, back to the stimming, I did find just a brief description on the common types of the stimming. So there's the physical, which is the rocking, spinning, pacing, and hand flapping, which our kids do all of those. The vocal, humming, whistling, clicking, or repeating words. Tactile, which is skin rubbing, biting, hair twirling. And then oral, which is chewing on shirts, collars, pencils, or objects. And our kids put everything in their mouth. They bite on blankets. They bite on their clothing. Like, they'll pull their shirts up over their arms and bite the shirt. The chew toys, of course. And then as far as the one whose child is harmful, it does say that why it turns harmful is overwhelming stress. High anxiety, sensory overload can cause normal soothing habits to escalate into violent or unsafe actions. And then just hidden pain is just the way that's the way they communicate. So that's a hard one, because our kids don't talk either. So it's really stressful when, you don't really know what's going on with them, and it's kind of just a guessing game. And then you just got to run through the whole alphabet A to Z on what you think it might be. But says spending so much time on repetitive actions that the person cannot eat, dress, learn, or talk. Biting. So it's just a way that they're soothing themselves and communicating, or maybe letting you know that I'm overstimulated, and that's how they work through the overstimulation. So that's why I was like, the cooler lights, like the softer lights, not so harsh, bright lights, the soft noises, not loud noises, not too many things going on at one time, keeping their hands busy. Even maybe just some of like the squishies, like all the squishy crazes, that might be something good for them to just kind of squeeze and hold and pull. And
Yeah, there's been many things throughout their childhood that we've kind of taken away because we're like, oh no, that definitely they bit that or they slam that against the wall or what I mean, or they slam that against the ground or something. You're like, is that going to come apart and get little pieces? It's just
well, and they were when they were like a few years ago, we started a lot of the taste trials with speech, and I would always buy like those bottle pops, something that they could hold on to and like put in their mouth a little bit, like lick it or taste it in some way. And one day Kennedy just bit the whole top of the bottle pop off. It freaked me out because she can't chew it. And so I had to take it from her and sweep it all out of her mouth. I was freaking out.
Yeah. And in that regard, for us in particular in our girls' situation, you're trying anything and everything you can just to get them to try something. And so that was the whole point of the bottle pop. It wasn't the fact that we definitely want them to have sugar.
Yeah, I don't want them to have candy.
We want them to have candy. We're just trying to get her to try something.
She could hold on her own.
Yeah, and try it. But
I have noticed that even when therapy's here, they don't want the therapist to come at them with a spoon or a chew stick or anything like that. They want to do it themselves, and they're more apt to do it if you just hand it to them and they can bring it to their mouth. So I was like, oh, this is cool. Bottle pop. It's sugar, but it's something that she can bring to her mouth, move her tongue around, kind of get the feel of it, see if she can swallow. Bit right into that sucker. The whole top of it was gone.
Yeah, nerve-wracking. Because then, like she said, she's sweeping it out as fast as she can, sticking her finger in her mouth, trying to get it out. Like, whoa, what the heck?
Yeah, and we do a lot of like sensory bins. We'll put a lot of textures in sensory bins.
Yeah, you did a sensory wall at one point.
I did do a sensory wall. I want to get back to that. I want to do a whole sensory wall. I did buy like one of those busy boards where it has like the little light switches that you can flip and the turn knobs and spinners. They just love to just tinker with all of that stuff. And
I think the texture, the textures she had one wall that was literally just a board and it had different materials on it. So one material was soft and fluffy. One material was, if you pushed it was the one that like a pillow. There you would fold almost fold almost the other way to get a different. But it was just a different texture, a different feeling on the hands.
And I did that I literally just went to the Dollar Tree and got small cutting boards that had the little loop that you could hang, and I just hot glued different textures on the cutting boards and hung them on hooks so they could go by themselves and touch the textures, or we could use them with therapy and take them into another room. But anything texture, they loved it. The water play tables they loved.
We did a whole padded wall.
Whole padded wall. That was. And then it took all the paint off when we tried to remove it.
When I removed it. You put it up with glue. I don't know what
Spray
it was.
Adhesive.
Oh, it was horrible. It was the worst getting off. Because it was coming off and like pieces were staying on the wall. So then we had to sit there and almost pretty much, it was like reversed drywalling a wall. It was horrible. Yeah. It was literally scraping. And we'd scrape into the drywall. It was a mess. And
sorry.
It looked atrocious.
It did, but it worked while we needed it.
Yeah.
And they loved it.
It looks cool.
It was cool.
Looked cool.
And cool. The ball pit they liked for a long time.
And And I've
The
built things over
tunnels,
the years with out of PVC. We did
the
different. I
walkers,
did different things out of PVC, and that's just using.
almost like ballerina bars that we hung
Put it on the
throughout
wall.
the walls so they could walk, step walk,
Mm-hmm.
side by side step walk throughout their room. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I feel like if you're savvy enough to try some things, there's some pretty cool ideas on Pinterest and different sites. And honestly, for that, in particular, like the ballerina wall kind of thing, that was the therapist just saying, we were trying to find a way for them to hold on to something and be able to walk along the wall or do whatever. And like, it is what it is. I put it together and we got it on the wall and it worked for when we needed it. So.
And Laura, I in regards to the nonverbal, I did find, so my grandson doesn't say a whole lot, and I found this really cool dinosaur on TikTok. TikTok is my new best friend, and there's this cute little dinosaur that comes with thousands of pictures and stickers, and you put the stickers all over things in the house, and then you carry the dinosaur, and when you put the dinosaur on the sticker, it'll say what that item is. So if you put a sticker on the refrigerator and your child puts the dinosaur on that sticker, it'll say refrigerator, stove, car, mom, sink, whatever the case may be. And I just thought that was so cool. And it is for children primarily that are autistic. And so I really want to get one of those for my grandson. And so maybe you should try to get one of those. I think it'd be really neat to see if he even just communicates with that. It's a cute little green dinosaur. What little boy doesn't like dinosaurs? And then you put the stickers on everything that you want him to be able to communicate about. And it comes with cards too. So you stick the dinosaur on the card and it'll relay what the card says. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, but let me get a hold of something like that and figure out how it works. And
we'll get a hold of it, sir.
I'll put it in whatever
You're
you want to put it
tech
in.
savvy.
Whatever your son is, into. If he likes trucks, I'll put it in a truck.
He'll do an app for you, girlfriend.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'll make that same thing work in a truck.
Yeah, but you could easily do an app for her son's iPad.
For sure.
Like you were for the twins.
Absolutely. But the thing is, though, like, all that stuff is just, it's set up a certain way, and then once you figure out how it's set up, then just I'll take the mechanism out of it. I'm not trying to rebuild the whole thing. I'm just trying to use what it's doing to actually be useful for you, because like you said, while a dinosaur may work for your little boy who loves dinosaurs,
where's the unicorn?
Yeah,
for the little girls.
What about your little girl that loves her Barbie doll? You know what I mean? Put it in a Barbie doll. Make the same thing work in something else that's actually something that they like. So it can be done. Like I said, there's a way.
There's a way.
Always. Make it happen. Any other questions?
No, those were all the ones I found. Unless somebody posted a question since we've been on.
What were you going to say? Do I what?
I don't remember. I'm still in training, y'all. My brain is mush.
But yeah, I'd like to put a post up and see what other parents have done themselves. I know that we found on Pinterest and different places where parents have made 3D molds. It's not molds, but it's almost a plastic looking hanger that we use for the girls.
Oh, their feeding pumps?
For their feeding pumps. I mean, there's a lot of different things out there that parents in all of our situations have come up with, and it's cool to see what other parents have done, what they've decided to do. I mean, I'm goofy. She brought up the nebulizer wasn't working, and I at first was like, I don't want to mess with it. We got a DME company for this. Like, let them come replace it.
They wouldn't.
And so I took it apart, realized what was happening, ordered a part. It cost me $1.25. I put a picture of it up on our page if you want to look at it, but it was literally a bearing that held the plunger in place as it moved and rotated. I drilled out the plastic, glued in the bearing, put it back together, and now it works like it was brand new. I
Yeah.
mean, it was $1.25 for the bearing. It took a week for it to get here, but at the end of the day, it was $60 for the nebulizer or $1.25, and I fixed it myself and put it back together. And
Yeah, because the DME company wouldn't replace it unless we've had it for 5 years, which I feel like we have, but I know they had the whales when they were smaller, so I don't
yeah,
know if it's been 5 years. But the fact that you have to pull teeth to get anything out of the DME companies, like
yeah.
currently our twins are on, they used to be on Nourish, aka Liquid
Hmm.
Gold. Now they're on Pediatric Complete, and we put them on Pediatric Complete because it has a protein option with chicken, and our girls are just teeny tiny. Well, Kennedy is having a huge issue with breaking down all of the protein, so we've pushed her back to just veggie. So it's just fruits and vegetables. Well, I've run out of the veggie, and I called the DME company, and they said, "Oh, well, last time we spoke to you, you said you wanted chicken." And I said, "Well, this is correct. But since then, my daughter has had a reaction to the food. She's really distended. Her stomach's hard.
Yeah.
Even with liquid flushes, she's getting so distended.
Hmm.
So we're not even able to finish all of her feeds. We have to take a break for a while and then feed her. She's having to do feeds overnight because she just can't stomach the whole feed. They're only going to send me a 7-day supply. We don't even get their next shipment till the 13th. So what am I supposed to feed her the rest of those days till the next shipment?
Yeah.
It's like pulling teeth. To, like, come get the chicken. It's still in this box.
I'll
And
bring it to you.
they
You know what I
won't.
mean?
It's in your home. Can't take it again. Well, why not?
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah. And there's no the hardest part about that is that there's you kind of feel stuck. It's like we're trying something different, and it almost feels like you're getting punished for it.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, when my daughter starts having issues with it, then I start getting a little frustrated, and I try to stay out of it because of that. Because if I get on a call, I want to be the voice of reason. I want to be
Not
calm.
me.
I want to be, you know, try to
Not
express
me.
myself and
Mm-mm.
try to get you to understand where I'm coming from and try to help me. Like I'll drive the stuff to you. I don't need you to come get it. Like if that is that the holdup, you don't want to come get it. I don't need you to come get it. I got a car. I'll drive it to you. We can make a little switch in a parking lot. I don't care. It's going to be behind closed doors. I just need
Mm-hmm.
the food for my daughter.
Yeah.
And yeah, but when they get to sometimes it gets to those points where I've realized like it's not going to go my way. I'm just going to try to figure out another way. I mean, this is again the groups, and we're truly grateful for all the help that we've received from other people in groups. We've had issues where our bags, we ran out of bags and we couldn't get
Feeding
any more
bags.
bags, and yeah, feeding bags. And so then we, got on the Rockwall Moms group, and
Rockwell
a
Moms
lady's
Medical
like,
Group.
"Oh yeah, I got a lot of bags. Like, come get them." And I drive to Rockwall, and she drops them on her porch, and I go up and grab them, and it's been amazing to have the community. And again, if you're not a
Mm-hmm.
part of a community, a local community, try to get one, try to build one. If you don't have one, there's probably other parents that are in the exact same situation that you're in, and if you can help each other, it's always nice because sometimes we all feel like we're kind of left
Yeah.
out in the cold.
Yeah, I'd be lost without them, to be honest. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many things that the other moms are willing to give you,
Hmm.
donate, things that they don't need anymore. It's just nice that they're all, they're not being selfish, like, oh, I'm going to keep all this for my child. They're like, if
Hmm.
you need it, come get it. I'll bring it to you even. And
Yeah,
that's awesome.
it's great to have a community.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
I don't think we have anything else. You have anything else?
I don't think any other questions have come through yet. So, and no, but it was a good show. I'm glad we were able to interact with everybody. Like we said before, hopefully in the near future we'll be able to do these live so we can ask questions. Rewind. So we can answer questions while we're on the feed. Both of us maybe kind of glancing at our phones and one talking and while the other's making sure we're not missing any questions or comments, because it does fly by the screen pretty fast depending on how many people are on. So we are in the works of talking to some people to have some guests come on soon, and we'll bring the girls on probably the next episode or so everybody can see them and see how crazy cute they are. So yeah. So until next time, what is my
Hey, this is her thing. I don't try to remember it.
I swear to everything that is holy, okay? I don't remember what I say. I know it's until next time. Coffee.
A little more coffee.
A little more coffee, a lot of chaos,
and
and a few less chromosomes. Bye.